Hello to everyone out in Maryland's beautiful 8th Congressional District. It's Congressman Jamie Raskin coming to you this first week of July with my favorite time of the week, Local Hero, and we get to salute the people whose hard work makes life so wonderful here in the 8th District. And today we are honoring the recently retired outgoing chief of Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Services, Scott Goldstein, who is a native of Maryland and Montgomery County, born and raised in Tacoma Park, and then grew up a lot of the time in Aspen Hill. He's a graduate of the University of Maryland. He was appointed by Ike Leggett as the chief of the Fire and Rescue Service back in 2015, and has served as our chief for the last 8 years, overseeing a fire and rescue service of more than 2,700 civilian and sworn fire personnel, as well as volunteers, and 37 different stations all across Montgomery County. And he has been very much on the case and has won all kinds of praise for his hard work and the excellence of the team he put together. So Chief Goldstein, congratulations on a job well done here. And you are our local hero this week.
Thank you very much, Congressman. And while it is a job, it's still a love, and that's what makes it enjoyable. It is an opportunity to give back to the community. That's how I started as the kid who was fascinated with fire trucks. Never grew out of that, and still 35, 33 years later, still enjoy giving back and giving services to the residents, visitors, and businesses, as well as the men and women of the organization. So while it's a career and it is a job, it's still fun and it's a passion.
Well, and you spent 33 years in fire and rescue services in Montgomery County. You trace, if you would, for us, just the trajectory of your career within the department.
So I started when I was technically still 15 as a volunteer with the Kensington Volunteer Fire Department in '87, and was a very active volunteer for 3 years. Got hired by Montgomery County in 1990. Basically the September 1st of 1990, and retired just this past Friday on June 30th. So just a skosh shy of 33 years with the county department. And like I said, just a little over 35 years since I started volunteering. I did a great bit of my station time in the Darnestown, Quince Orchard area, and then a multitude of different chief assignments with a long stint in special operations. So everything that's not the day-to-day fire and station level activities lands in special ops, special events, abnormal incidences, hazmat, water rescue, technical rescue, you name it. If it's not normal, it lands into special ops. And then, as you said, January of 2015, 6 months as the acting fire chief, confirmed by council and sworn in June of 2015. So 8 years as the fire chief. So it's been an amazing time, and what an opportunity.
Well, and tell us what it felt like to go from being a kid in Montgomery County, just fascinated by the fire trucks and go into the different, fire department open houses and stuff, to actually becoming the chief of the whole thing. And what was it like this last 4th of July weekend, which I can imagine is a pretty stressful time for people who've occupied your position with all the fireworks and everything, not having to worry about it and that being somebody else's responsibility all of a sudden?
So, yeah, and I say this to recruits, I say this to kids in school. They have every opportunity, every capability to start as an entry-level firefighter and progress through the organization and get into a huge array of opportunities, specialties, and obviously we challenge everybody. for them to fill our shoes in 20 years down the road, and that they have that chance to be on stage, as I was oddly on Friday, graduating a group of 57 recruits.
Chief, your wife and you have two sons who you raised in Montgomery County. What are your plans, and what are the plans for the family here on in? I understand you're going to be relocating to the West Coast.
Yeah, so my wife is from Washington, came to the DC area for school back in the mid-90s, and her family still is in Washington. I have plenty of fire department family, but as a single child, my family non-work is Heidi's in Washington State. So I am assuming the fire chief's position of an organization, Cowlitz 2 Fire Rescue, out in a city called Kelso, on the west coast of Washington, near Portland. Start there in 2 weeks. And we've already moved. We've already relocated and moved into our new house out there. And our kids are going to be nearby. One is a truck mechanic with Peterbilt. He's in Portland, already working. And the other is going to be a medevac helicopter mechanic with Air Methods, and that they're going to be based in Arizona for the first couple of years. So moving to the West Coast family, and getting ready to help a new community like Montgomery County, but in Kelso, Washington.
Well, we're going to miss you a lot here, and we are much better for all of the contributions you've made to fire and rescue and the professionalization of our force, and all of the different kinds of operations that you have improved and perfected in your work here. So thank you for everything you've contributed to Montgomery County. Don't forget about us. We're still your hometown. And we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
No, thank you very much. And indeed, it's a great place. There's a lot of great within Montgomery County in this area, and definitely will not forget Montgomery.
All best to you and your family.
Thank you, sir.